What it do, what it does, what it be like. It's your boy Black Girl, and this is the Doctor's Orders podcast. Think we done made it around to episode 13. I can't really put a finger on it. I believe it's 13. The last one we did was 12, huh? That was the first one for the 2020. By chance, this is the second. Shit, by all means, I should have been dropping stuff on y'all head the past couple of weeks, but I've been tied up, man, at the day job. As you know, COVID-19 just took over the whole damn world out here. But while all that's going on, I'm still very blessed to be able to go to work, while others are kind of stuck at home, quote unquote. We're essential workers out here, so that's always a blessing. So I'll praise to the Most High for that. But yeah, that's why I've been pulling double and triple and quadruple overtimes and things of that nature. But on the bright side of all of that, still able to pull in income, still able to be around fam and a couple of close friends. So all is still well. And in other news and brighter news, I know I've been talking a lot of noise. Man, I'm talking a lot of shit. I've been saying that I was gonna have a guest and other people was gonna jump on the podcast this year, and it wasn't gonna be just a bunch of me on the same old monotonous. I know I've been hollering it, but with the exception of maybe Ace McCain and Lux Caesar and Mandy, shit, I ain't really have no guests. But real special guest today, man, for real, like one of my best friends, a very wise man. I know y'all be hearing the phrase wise words from a decent man. We're gonna hear a lot of decent words from a very wise man. We got Mr. Corey Freeman on the podcast today. Also, speaking of, he has the Corey Freeman podcast just debuting. I've heard the first 2 episodes. Real stand-up information. You're gonna need all these gems that he's spitting at you. So before we even get deeper into getting him on, I want y'all to go check him out. Also on the Anchor FM app, also on Spotify, also on Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Stitcher. All the usual places that you would catch it. Eventually, you will see it on YouTube. Until then, be sure to catch him through the app and all those other platforms. But for real though, y'all really need to tune into the Corey Freeman podcast. Y'all will be missing out tremendously if you don't jump on it expeditiously, as T.I. would say. So yeah, man, I ain't gonna tie y'all up in the intro too much longer, man. We're gonna move right along into the latest diagnosis. I know I kind of touched on it earlier with the COVID-19, but yes, this is a worldwide pandemic. Yes, we really are on quarantine. No, this is not a dream and this is not a movie. It's really going on, and as Pimp C would say, it's really going down. So we just having to protect ourselves, and pretty much we just praying and sanitizing. That's all we can do, pray and sanitize, because anything in between, you can pray a word, you can't do both. So we're gonna keep on rolling and rocking, as the old man would say. Of course, Louisiana, as usual, is number one in all the wrong shit. But frankly speaking, we up to 21,000 cases in our state, where there's other countries on the planet that haven't reached 21,000 cases. So I don't know if that's just due to the concentration around the New Orleans metropolitan area, or if it's just straight negligence. I would say a combination of the two. But either way around it, we're up to well past 21,000 cases and almost 900 deaths. So it's not real good. But of course, being a lifelong Louisiana citizen, born and raised, I'm not surprised by any means at all. So we got to do better. Try to flatten out this curve, or we're going to be stuck in the highs, if you will, all summer long. So let's try to work on that, try to be better, because it's not going to get any better without us working on it. Outside of that, of course, y'all already know all the sports canceled, all the schools pretty much made the decision to postpone the rest of the remaining weeks of the school year. So them kids probably ain't going back till August, September. We're gonna have to really suck it up and get it together for the kiddos, because it's no good without that backbone of education. Other than that, y'all pretty much already know, man. Same old shit, different toilet, man. So we're gonna just try to keep it moving and elaborate on basically just mental health and mental awareness. But before I get too far, man, I'm not gonna hold him off any further, man. What's up, Mr. Corey Freeman?
What's going on?
Man, good to have you on, my brother. Finally, after all this time. Been talking about the podcast and getting on this thing forever. So, man, how you feeling out there, brother?
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a long time, but hey, I'm gonna say, like I said on my own podcast yesterday, this is history right here. There's history in the making, and we about to make history right now.
Absolutely. I totally agree, man. I totally agree. And when I talk about speaking on mental health and mental awareness, man, that's just that whole mind over matter mentality. I automatically think of you. People need to hear your opinion and your point of view, because I often, when I get into binds and I get into situations, I always tend to go back to things that you would talk about. And I always remembered one of the things that you feel really close to is the star emblem for the Dallas Cowboys football team. But it means a lot more than that to you, just being as you're a star, not only in your own right, but as seen by others. So, man, I want you to elaborate on that whole mentality before we get any deeper, because it's really trill. Everybody needs to know about that gem right there. So I'm going to drop some knowledge on that for us, if you will.
Well, I know we got a lot of Cowboy haters out there, so we're not going to just about the Dallas Cowboys. Although I do love my Cowboys, it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Because at this moment right
Absolutely.
now, if it was football season would be canceled. So it's deeper. It's deeper than sports. This is life. This is you. This is I. This is us. So the I am a star mentality is just saying that I am special. I am worth it. I am worthy. I was created for a purpose. It's basically what we're trying to say. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have
Absolutely.
It don't mean when you think of a star, in most cases you think about people that you see on TV. But what about the people that's not on TV? You know what I'm saying? Does that mean does that mean that I'm not worthy to, or does that mean that I'm not special to, or does that mean that I wasn't here for a purpose or a cause? So we gotta, sometimes you gotta be selfish and you gotta think about yourself.
Got to think about yourself. Absolutely. I was going to elaborate on that. You got to just know that you are enough. That was something you used to always tell me, just to know that you are enough. And by all means, you could always do better if that's what you want, but just know that you are enough. You don't have to be the movie star. You don't have to be the professional athlete. And especially right now, especially during the times of this coronavirus and whatnot, you're starting to see who's really, quote unquote, essential in the workforce is also very essential in everyday life. It gets overlooked for these same people. So, man, that's a very valid point, bro.
Yeah, it's funny that you talk about I am enough, because later on in my notes, I talk about I am enough. You are enough. You know what I'm saying? But before we get there, first thing I want to say is every day a star is born. When you was born, you was a star. When I was born, I was a star. When the kid that was born today, they are definitely stars. I say each person is a star because each person is born special and a very unique individual. Each individual has gifts, or has a gift that only was assigned to me. So what I'm trying to say is what I'm good at, and with the things that I was called to do, can't nobody do it like me. What Corey Freeman can do is only what Corey Freeman can do. What Earl Nelson can do is only what Earl Nelson can do. I'm not talking about because we all can do some of the same things, but I'm talking about my assignment, my talents, my gifts. Right. It only belongs to me. So that's one of the reasons why I say I am a star. I'm starring in my own, whatever you want to call it, but I am the star of it. You feel what I'm saying? So
you're the producer, you're the executive director, you're the boom lower, you're the captain, you're the operator. You are running your own plays, and that's really what's up. That's really what I like to reach on, what I want to elaborate on. Just the simple fact of it's a reflection of your self-esteem whenever you say I'm a star. But it really has much more to do than how you feel on the inside. It's all about what you're really going to put forth, what kind of work, what kind of effort. Just elaborate more on what you were saying, because you were hitting some fire points before I cut you off.
Well, the problem is whether or not if each person realizes or even believes that they're a star. That's mainly what the problem is, because most people, they don't believe the best about themselves. They believe the best about other people. I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not handsome enough, or I'll never have this, or I'll never have that. And if that's what you choose to believe, that's on you. But that does not change the fact that you are. We can just say that you are. You know what I'm saying? You are. The bad thing about it is, like the negative thoughts, we let negative thoughts take over our mind, and we also let negative people take over our mind and take over our life and take over our whole situation.
And that's a hard one to stop these days, but it's been kind of easy now because with the social distancing and all that going on, it's kind of easy to determine who's really in your circle or who's not at this point. And it's kind of crazy, man, because the more that this goes on, of just kind of going to work, coming home type thing, and the more that this time just drags on, I realized that it was more healthy to be away from some of the negativity, like you said, the negative people that can bring this this terrible attitude up out of you, because you won't ever get where you're trying to go.
And I feel that you gotta watch the negative people, but at the same time, we also gotta with this quarantine going on, you might not be around a lot of people, but you can also have negative conversations with yourself. So it's a must that I monitor the conversations that I'm having with myself. Joyce Meyer said, what are you telling yourself? Are you monitoring what your mind is telling you? And if you would just pay attention to some of the thoughts that ran across your mind, you would be like, man, I gotta put a stop to this. Because if I don't monitor my own thoughts, who's gonna monitor my thoughts for me? Who's gonna clean out my mind? How am I gonna renew my own mind if I'm not even really paying attention to what my mind is telling me?
It's even telling you, right? Because the world ain't got no filter, right? That's absolutely incredible, bro. The way I look at it is we just got to take the responsibility of making sure that we can train our mind. But for some, it's easier said than done. Like in my case, I'm one of those people that you described in the get-go. I'm always like, man, I ain't good enough. Or, man, I didn't do this long enough to deserve this. So I don't think I know enough to do that. It's like, you know what? Break it down to some of those people that might be having trouble convincing themselves. Like, what are some exercises and what are some ways or what are some things that they can tell themselves to kind of get them out of the slump and make them understand that they are indeed a star in their own right?
Well, the first thing that you can do, I learned, is like early in the morning, whenever you first wake up, have positive thoughts just running through your mind. Just tell yourself positive things. Tell yourself, hey, I am enough. I am a good person. God does love me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good person. You can tell yourself stuff like, I'm a wonderful father. You know what I'm saying? How about this? How about you tell yourself, every day I'm getting better and better and in every way. You know what I'm saying? Like the first 30 minutes of your day are really the most important times of the day, because what you let get into your system, the first 30 minutes of the day will impact your whole day. So if you can, when you first wake up, just have positive thoughts running through your mind. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows how to be positive. All right, put it like this. You know what you want somebody to tell you. So how about tell it to yourself? Don't wait for somebody else to tell you who you are.
See, now we're getting somewhere. Don't wait. Gotta tell yourself.
Straight up, because
you have to tell.
Put it like this. I gotta watch what I let get into my system. Because most of the time, what's getting in my system is probably negative. So if I'm monitoring, like I said earlier, the conversations that I'm having with myself, or I'm monitoring what I'm letting get into my system, or I'm monitoring whatever I'm letting the world makes me believe about myself. That's one bad thing too. What everybody else wants you to think about yourself, or what the world tries to tell you what you are. That's one of the main issues that we have to worry about, and also we have to worry about the satanic energy that tries to come and overwhelms us. We can just be
you're going to laugh on that, because at sometimes people out there that don't want to take the route of leaning on religion or leaning on a higher power. But let's kind of break down the importance of at least standing for something or falling for anything.
Well, the thing about it,
in this case,
the thing about it is, we can agree on two things. We can agree that there's a God, and we can agree that there's a devil. If we can agree, we don't even have to say that there's a devil. We can just agree that there's negative energy. Think about it. If there was no negative energy, then we wouldn't even be doing this podcast right now.
Then there'd be no reason to combat it.
It would be no reason for us to even be having this conversation if there was not negative energy or satanic energy. The stuff that tries to distract you from what you're really supposed to be doing. Now, you see, Not this right here, Earl. This ain't for everybody. Not everybody wants to change. Not everybody wants to be all that they were called to be. Not everybody wants to impact the world. Not everybody wants to leave a good legacy. But that's on them. We talking to the people who know it's got to be something better and who want something better. And I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that there is better. But the thing that you got to realize is it's up to you to make it better. First thing first is being positive. Being positive, you can just... Being positive is very hard sometimes because how long does it take to make a habit? I heard a habit can be created in 21 days. So,
but like 21
So think
days.
About how long you've been being negative. I'm 34 years old. We'll just use me as an example. If I've been being negative for 34 years, well, how hard would it be to turn that and change that around or to make you believe something different? So the problem is we've created habits, very bad habits, and it's a habit. So therefore I'm used to it. But we gotta stand for something different, and not necessarily stand for something different. We gotta educate ourselves first and understand what the problem is.
Education is key.
Exactly. Understand what the problem is, and then I can understand how I can identify the problem, and then what I gotta do to combat the problem.
And see, and that's where it really does begin. Because for most people, and myself is included, it takes that want to. It takes that reason, that why. What's the people's why? I hear Eric Thomas says it all the time. What's your why? But there's a lot of days you wake up, you're not sure about what your why is. You're not sure about why you're doing what you're doing. But it's all about making that one flip of the wrist, that one quick light bulb that's gonna come up above your head that's gonna say, you know what, this is why. And you give it all you got. Education and all. I'm really agreeing with what you're saying. This is a powerful word.
It really boils down to having a purpose. What is your purpose? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to accomplish anything? Well, if you don't want to accomplish anything, well then, hey, things are going to stay the same. But if you want to accomplish something and you want to be better, well, like I said, the first thing you got to understand is that you can do better. And you got to also understand that I was created. Exactly. And that's what I was created for. If every human being was realizing that, hey man, I was created for a specific purpose, for not no foolishness either. You get what I'm saying? For some real stuff. Then think about it. Everybody loves to talk about, well, the world is this and the world is so bad. The world is, yeah, you're right. The world is bad. Okay, now what are we doing about it?
Absolutely.
What are we doing about it? Are we doing anything to change the world? Am I living up to my own greatness? Am I shining my light in the sky? You get what I'm saying? We don't even have to use a star. We can use a diamond. A diamond shines. Well, okay, I might not be a star, and I'm a diamond. You feel me? But one thing you got to stop acting like is stop acting like a pebble, because I am not a pebble. A pebble is not worth anything. But being who God created me to be, I am worth a lot. And why would God have even created me in the first place if I was just put here to just be dysfunctional?
If you had no purpose, absolutely,
just to be a dysfunction or to be a disaster.
Because this is some, I mean, and this is just the beginning, y'all. I promise you. Go to the Corey Freeman podcast. You're gonna hear this times 8. But just to let you guys understand the type of motivation that's been in the H.A.A.S corner for the decade strong. I mean, this is the type of stuff that I really wish everybody would hear and everybody would feed into. Now, as we keep going, I want to keep going on this for a second, if you will. If you got a few more minutes, I know you got things to do, places to go, people to see. But I do want to keep it rolling for the people to kind of understand that this is not an overnight thing, right? Like, this takes a lot of effort and attention. Like you were saying about how, you 34, I'm very close, I'm 33. At the same time, there's things that I've been doing probably 30 of those 33 years. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot of time and effort for change. So explain to some of the people out here who's having an issue with, I don't know, with endurance. What would you say to those about building their endurance and just having that inner trigger that's going to say, hey, I really need to make this change, or I'm never going to be anything in my life? What do you say about to
you
those
just
people?
Gotta want to be better. Flat out, you just gotta want to be better, and you also have to just realize that it's more than this. It's more than what what Les Brown said. He said, I deserve more than this. Well, if I feel like I deserve more than this, then that'll make you start doing something. That right there. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing seeing like I just said, how everybody talks about how bad the world is. Well then, okay, that right there should make you want to do something. What are you doing to make the world a better place? What are you doing to impact the lives of other people? What are you doing to change the lives of other people? What are you doing at all? Are you doing anything at all? You get what I'm saying?
But they got to figure it out. They got to find that with that deep. There's something they got to trigger them with.
Exactly. I can't figure out what everybody else's purpose is for. I don't know what everybody else is supposed to be doing. But deep in your heart, you know what you're passionate about. You know what you care about. You know what you want to change. Okay, then do it. Change it. It's something that, then, you know, not everything that we want to do is always easy. And we deal with a lot of people that always want stuff the easy way. And nothing that comes easy is you can't. It's not gonna sustain if you got it easy all the time. Not everything is gonna always be hard, but some things that you gotta do, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. But if you can just be determined and also realize that whatever it is that you're going through, somebody else has already went through that and they've already won.
Now that's the truth. As a matter of fact, you said that in your episode the other day. You were speaking on how some of the best literature you could read is someone's biography or autobiography.
Exactly, because biography is pretty much a direct. Man, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to use, but it's pretty much it's already somebody that's already done it.
Sure, it's definitely a reference. You can go and reference back to the people and see exactly what they did, how they did it, and it lets you know that if you were in their circumstances or vice versa, and they were able to complete the task that you're trying to get to, then you know, damn it, you can do it. You can do it, man. Put all the pressure and all your money where your mouth is, and go out there and do it. And that's stuff that I'm having to tell myself in the mirror. I'm sure, because there's been a lot of lackadaisical moments going on, especially in the early 2020, as most of us have. I mean, we've seen a lot already this year. We've had a lot of major losses just all before the corona epidemic, and it's been a real issue, man. I know one of the people that we all looked up to for a very long time, especially if you were born in the mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s. I'm sure you just as well as I did. We looked up to Kobe Bryant and his Mamba mentality. So explain to how, you know, his passing in January affected your mentality and how, you know, you kind of, you know, stop taking life for granted after we see what happened.
It made you, first of all, he died with his daughter, you know, and I have a daughter, a very young daughter, and you know, I loved Kobe Bryant, you know, and I really liked the way he played, but I know they had this clip that you can go look up when Kobe Bryant was sitting on the bench and Chris Rock was sitting on the side of him, and Chris Rock was talking to him, and it's like Kobe Bryant didn't hear anything that he said because he was so focused on his task that was at hand. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you got to block out the foolishness sometimes. You got to block out the critics. You got to block out all the noise and focus on what is the goal at hand? What is the task at hand? That's what I learned from the Mamba mentality, that Kobe Bryant, he could block out all kind of stuff and focus on what he really needed to do. I was at work the other day and they were telling the story about Iman Shumpert. Iman Shumpert told them that he was giving Kobe Bryant that work. He was giving it to him for like the first 3 quarters of the game. And they said when the 4th quarter came, Kobe Bryant came and patted him on his butt and told him, "Good game." So, you know, Kobe Bryant, and then I think Kobe Bryant dropped like 30 in the 4th quarter. You get what I'm saying? So we didn't mess with Iman Shumpert's mind, because Iman Shumpert was like, "What you mean? We still got a whole quarter left to go." And Kobe then told me, "Good game." You know what I'm saying? So, hey, think about this. Sometimes they got these giants that we got to stand up to, and they've been giving it to us for the first 3 quarters of the game. And you know what? Well, for the 4th quarter, you go ahead and pat him on his butt and tell him, "You know what? Good game." Because now it's my turn.
Oh, I love it, man. And that's real. Sometimes you just got to go ahead and pick your head up and say, "I got to do this, man. I got to do this now or never." Absolutely. Same way as this podcast, man, bro. I appreciate you one more again, bro, for coming through on this podcast, bro. I'm going to return the favor. Y'all definitely go catch Dr. H.A.A.S on the Corey Freeman podcast ASAP fast. But, man, once again, we appreciate your time, my brother.
Yes, sir. We're not finished yet, though, Earl. What I really wanted to say is, when I speak of a star, I don't want to tell people that, you know, they can't be movie stars or entertainers. You can do all of that. But despite the fame, or with or without fame, you are, or with or without fame, or the approval of your friends, or despite what the critics say, you are a star, you are a champion, you are the greatest, because what I can do, nobody can do it, and can't nobody take that away from me. It doesn't matter if you decide to spend the rest of your life sitting on the sofa. Still in all, you are still magical, you are powerful, you are still wonderful, and you that light shining in the sky. And I know some people will be like, well, Brother Corey, how can you say that? I can say that because if any person decides to just flip on the switch, what happened when you flip the switch on? The light comes on. So if you decide to flip your light switch on, you can begin to shine.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. And all you have to do is just decide. It's all a decision.
It's just a decision. That's all it is.
It takes a lot. It does take a lot. But for the average human being, it seems like a lot anyway. Let me say it that way. But when you really break it down the way that you just did, it really doesn't take much.
A lot of people think that only certain people, like I said earlier, have what it takes. And until you realize that you have what it takes, until you realize that you have power, you have power to overcome, you have power to conquer, you have power to do what it is that you need to do. But the first thing that you got to do is, like I said, you got to educate yourself. You need to be educated and understand who you are. Realize what your identity is. Where are you getting your identity from? Are you getting your identity from NBA Youngboy, or are you getting your identity from Jesus Christ? That's two totally different ends of the spectrum right there. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people want to be like, I can't be another NBA Youngboy because he is who he is already. You get what I'm saying? So I can't be Zero, or I can't be Elton John or Eminem. I only can be Corey Freeman, who God designed me to. And not to say, I'm not trying to talk down on any of these people, but what I'm trying to say is we need to stop trying to be like other people and be who I am.
Because people trying to pull a little bit of this character and pull a little bit of that character.
You talk about I Am Enough. The person who came up with the I Am Enough movement, her name is Marissa Peer. And Marissa Peer actually deals with a lot of famous people. And she counsels a lot of movie stars and all of them. And when and a lot of them are depressed and want to kill themselves and stuff like that. And she finds out like what the problem is. Most of them feel like they ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? Now think about this. Think about if a celebrity who makes everybody think that everything's all right in their life and makes everybody think that, oh, I'm doing this and oh, I'm doing that and oh, and I have this. And all these people have all these problems of not feeling that they're not enough. Well, what you think a normal person will feel like? You know what I'm saying? So what you think a normal person would feel like? You know what I'm saying? So you can understand why some people would feel like they not enough.
So a lot of people feel like they not enough.
We have to change the way we see each other, and we have to change the way we see ourselves. If I see another person as a star, then maybe whenever I see them mess up, maybe I won't go hard on them. Maybe I can understand that this person just hasn't tapped into their greatness yet. But you know what a lot of us like to do when some people can't do what you can't do, which I just told you, they can't do what you can. They can't do what you can do because only you can do it. So like they had these football coaches that was great players, but they was bad coaches. Why? Because the lot of players that they run across, not as good as they was. And they expect everybody to be able to do what they can do. It's not like that sometimes. You get what I'm saying? In fact, a lot of the times it's not like that. It's not like that at all.
Most of the time. It's very rare to find an opportunity. Yeah, exactly. So it's crazy, man. It is really, people got to put that effort forward and just really take it on the chin, because you never be able to do what the next man can do. The next man shouldn't be out here trying to do what you're doing. And that's basically what you see each and every day. And there's really no way to stop it. So hopefully people can start seeing a lot clearer. Hopefully people can understand that it's, everything's God-given. What he has for me, it is for me. What he has for you, it is for you. And they really should leave it at that. But, that's why all this friction coming through whenever people start, staring in the left lane too long. You know how it is. Exactly. Focus on what's going on at your own house. Improve your own house. Improve your own life. Improve the lives of your own kids. And stop trying to worry about what everybody else is doing with their life. And I'm not saying that we can't help one another, but we don't need to always be a critic. You know what I'm saying? Some people need you to love them where I'm at. If you can't love me where I'm at, then don't love me where I'm going.
You get what I'm saying? If you can't love me when I'm a jerk, if you can't love me when I was a thief, if you can't love me when I was a killer, then don't love me whenever, because at the end of the day, if God forgave me, then why can't you forgive me? You get what I'm saying?
Why can't you?
And if I don't ever,
why not? Why can't?
Yeah, it's true. Like, why can't you look at people differently? Why can't you look at people the way you want people to look at you? But you see, a lot of people, like I said, the name of this episode is called I Am a Star. Well, most people don't feel that they are stars, so why would they ever look at somebody else as a star? Unless that person is really a movie star or a rap star or that type of star. That means I can't be no other type of star. I get the approval of everybody else. And I don't need the approval of anybody but myself, because it's going to be me and myself only that gets myself out of the rut with the help of the Almighty. So the point that I'm trying to make is we need to stop worrying about the approval of everybody else, because the same people that you're trying to get approval from, they want approval from you.
Ooh, talk about it. We might have to rename this with no approval needed. I'm telling you, that man on fire, man. He is not playing. He is telling the God honest truth, bro. Waiting on the people's approval ain't gonna get you nowhere close to your goals, and ain't gonna get you where you're looking to get no faster. Promise you, it's only gonna slow you down. It's no approval needed. You are a star, just as well as the next man should feel entitled to be a star. And there's stars can coexist. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I think I wrote down in some of my notes that I done misplaced. Actually, I'm gonna blame this one on Pop, because he about to sabotage this whole podcast in and out this doggone room. But anyway, really what I was basically trying to get to is it's really I wish I had my damn notes, bruh. But I can just kind of freestyle and tell you what I was getting at. Stars coexist in the sky every night. Yes, some stars shine brighter than others. Some look like they flickering, about to go out. Some, is so bright that they have to be noticed. Some big, some small. So you might see a shooting star. I mean, there's a lot of things going on up there at night. Even the moon shines at different phases. Each of the 30 days is 30 different phases. The moon's gonna look at you. It's gonna shine different all 30 nights of the month. It's just, you have to realize that things can coexist. It's okay if you're here and they're there. Like, you should stop trying. Other stars ain't trying to be like the star next to them. They're trying to shine like they shine.
It brings me up to one of your episodes when you said, do your job. Do your job. Do your job. You feel me? Do your job. Shine your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Shine your own light. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what the other light is doing. And you spoke about the nighttime, but isn't the sun a star too? Okay, so
absolutely.
And that turned the night into day. So that means that I am able to do great things. I can do big things. I can do all things. But if I don't defeat the battles in my own mind, I will never see myself different. And if I never see myself different, then they have a lot of people that's waiting on me to do something, because whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing is going to directly help them. But until I see myself differently, a lot of people going to die and never get it, because I never saw myself different. And I think that's a shame. You know what I'm saying? I believe that is a shame. And it all balls down back to where everybody talking about world is a bad place. Well, let's all do our own part in shining, and let's light it back up. And if it turned dark, well then, hey, like you said, you still got the moon with the other stars, and they all still doing their own job. So until we all learn to do our own job and stop worrying about other things that we can't change, but worry about the things that we can actually change them.
And actually change them. That's the part that they need to understand. And actually change them. All they talking about it, all they procrastination, it's not gonna get you no change. Got to jump on it. Got to do it now. Got to be very, very consistent and very persistent. So it all boils down to the same thing. Do your job. You be the star that you're built to be. Stop trying to be somebody else or something else. Or just be what you want to be. And if you ain't what you want to be, don't stop till you what you want to be. It's basically my point of view.
It all boils down to everything that I will ever need to be successful. I was born with it. I was created with it. When I came out of my mama's womb, I had everything that I would ever need to be successful. Everything that it would ever take for me to be successful, I have it already. Whether or not you realize it or you even believe it, That's where the problem lies. But we are capable of doing great things that only I can do and only that you can do. But like I said, if we all doing our job, if I'm designed to do a thing and you design to do a thing, and then we all do it together, then we will affect change. You get what I'm saying? But until I realize this one important thing, I am. We can go whatever it is you want to say you are, but I am. You feel me? So fill in the blank. Now, if you want to be one of those negative people and be like, well, I am whatever it is you want to be, go ahead and be it. But at the same time, I just want you to know that if you never ever lived up to your greatness, it was not because you wasn't designed for it, and it's not because you didn't have the tools. In fact, you was born with the toolbox. Toolbox came with your life. So if you decide to do it or to live up to it or not, that does not change the fact that you are a star. The greatest of all time, because nobody can do what you can do. Nobody.
That's that GOAT talk. That's what I'm talking. That's what we came to hear. That it's only you and only you. Is there anything you want? Last words you want to wrap it up about?
Final point is to get some niggas and just do it.
Just do it.
And like I
commence to the celebration.
Remember that I am.
The celebration starts tonight.
I am. You know one of the names of God is I am. You feel me? That's one of God's names is I am. Now, there's scriptures in the Bible that says that I am raised up together, seated together in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. Well, if I'm raised up with God, seated together with God in heaven already, what does that mean? That means I am. You feel me? It means if he lives in me and I lives in him, and if he lives in me and I live in him, then I've already done it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's why I love the people from Texas that say already. Because if you really knew what you were saying, you feel me? Already. I've already done it. I'm already accomplished. I'm already a star. I'm already whatever it is you want to be. You are already that. If you put your trust where your trust needs to be and get that satanic energy away from you, you have the ability to run it away from you. But you got to open your mouth. You feel me? Ain't nothing gonna never change you just sitting down being quiet. Nah, you gotta do something. So how about we all can agree that we gotta do something? But at the same time, remember this. And you feel like you can't make it, and you feel like, oh, well, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Remember that you have already done it because your God has already done it. And if he be in you and you be in him, then there's nothing that can stop it.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Corey Freeman, we appreciate your time here tonight on the Doctor's Orders podcast. Man, you got to come do this again, man. Got to come do this again.
Hey, man, whenever you're ready, man, we can do this once a month, or you know what I'm saying? You know, however you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? We're only getting started, and I just want to let everybody know we every time you listen to us, we're gonna get better and better. So expect greatness. You feel me? Because it's only gonna get better and better. We just getting started with this. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just scratching the surface. We working out the kinks. We trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I said earlier, we got to do something. So we doing something. And I'm happy about that. We putting in work. We doing something. We might reach 3 people, Earl. But hey, if I reach 3 people and them 3 people reach 3 people, you keep doing 3 times 3 times 3. You do it enough of times, you'll get a big number. So I'm trying to.
The whole goal is to spread
exactly.
Corona.
Exactly.
That's the whole goal.
Exactly.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Exactly. We're trying to take the place of the Corona. You feel me? So.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, man, we're going to get this thing straightened out, man. We're going to iron up everything, chop it up, and we're going to deliver it to you the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for a second. I'm going to come back, though, with the truth pill and the refill, and I'm going to go ahead and close it out. So.